Kaniba, Liba, ooh, we are Grenadians, so are you. I love spice, where everything is nice. Grenada, may God bless you. Stepping off the plane, it's so easy to breathe again. Life in the big city has finally took its toll. And it's been so long, but I'm finally home. What better place to rest my weary bones than in this beautiful island, where there's so much to see. Every corner I turn, there's something else to remind me of this beautiful nation and what it means to me. Not a thing out of place, that's what's special about it.
I want to welcome you to this very important segment in the program where I will speak, laying the foundation for meaningful engagement. Those on Facebook, please share the live. Sharing is caring. And if you are viewing me via YouTube, do the same thing. I want to start off this morning by saying we have a new type of governance, one that's accountable to the electorate of the country. So, in previous elections, the different parties, political parties, will campaign and they will outline in their manifesto what they intend to do if you vote them in and they form the government. And they would not follow the manifesto or the promises they made with the Grenadian electorate, the majority of people in the country who voted. But with the NDC, what we are seeing is a party who campaigned, said these are the things they will do once elected into power, once they form the government, and they're actually going according to that solemn promise they made to the electorate. And that is how it's supposed to be. Some people may argue the Grenadian electorate is not at that level as yet, like the developed countries, where you don't need to see a politician, but instead, once you get the manifesto, once you get the blueprint for governance, or that white paper which says, these are the things I will do if you vote me into office. But we have to bear in mind the NDC has 5 years to fulfill the promises made within their manifesto to be so adjudged, for you to judge them, for you to evaluate them, for you to score them, grade them. They must complete that 5 years, because that's a term. They were given 5 years by the electorate, the people who voted them in, to accomplish what they set out in the manifesto. So it's not just going on a platform and saying X or saying Y. Anybody could go on a platform and make all kind of promises. There are people you invite on your platform, and they may say things that you were not even, planning for them to say. They may tell the audience certain things, right? Hype up the thing, uh, give them all kind of false hope. But what you must go by is the party's official document during that campaign, the manifesto, because the manifesto outlines what the party intends to do once you elect them into power. So let us look at the first 3 or 4 pages detailing what the NDC intend to do, right? And at the time they were campaigning, and they outline some of the things that they hope to accomplish once elected. Well, they were elected. They were given uh, the full mandate to execute their plans, their programs, their policies, just name it. So if you have a manifesto, because there are people with manifestos, all right? You can get it online. It's available online. Because if the NNP had won the election, they too must be held accountable based on the promises they made in their manifesto. And that is where I want our Grenadian brothers and sisters to reach in their reasoning, in their involvement in the politics and governance of the country. So, highlights of commitments from our campaign, meaning the NDC's campaign. So they somewhat summarize some of the key things that they hope to achieve during their term, the first 5 years. That's a term. If you give me that vote, these are some of the things I will do for Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. So the first thing they have is payment of pension. An NDC-led government will honor the Constitution and the ruling of the High Court on the payment of pensions. That's the first thing you see when it comes to the highlights of commitments from the NDC during their campaign. Payment of pension, that's the subtitle, and they go on to explain an NDC-led government will honor the Constitution, which says a public servant is entitled to a pension, and it specifies that that pension has to be 66.66% of the last highest emolument or payment. All right? So that's rooted in the Constitution. They're entitled to a pension from their employer, the government of Grenada. What we saw when the NDC came into power, they paid out $75.1 million to the people who were owed their pension and their gratuity, their retroactive pension and their gratuity. That was historic. But it's in the NDC's manifesto. They made that promise to the electorate and they fulfill that promise. Let's look at the second highlight. Subtitle: Twice Monthly Salary Payments. The NDC led government will pay public servants twice per month to assist in addressing cash flow challenges and to increase the volume of business transactions in the economy. We will collaborate with the private sector to standardize this practice for the rest of the country. What did the NDC, in coming into office, actually did? What they did when they came into office, they introduced the bi-monthly or twice monthly payments to public servants. That's a party and government that's accountable to the electorate. They told you during the campaign, if you elect them, they will pay public officers twice during that month, on the 15th and on the 30th. And we are seeing that happening today. Let's look at the third highlight: National Minimum Wage. That's a subtitle. An NDC-led government will undertake a collaborative review of wages with the private sector and labor sectors to raise the minimum wage. What did we, as the electorate, saw the NDC did on assuming office, on forming the government? What you saw, what they started: consultation in terms of minimum wage adjustment. We also saw a report from that working committee detailing some of their recommendations for different categories of workers. So they have already started the process, and come January, the whole minimum wage adjustment will be in law and will be implemented. That's a party who made a promise to the electorate and fulfilling that promise. No one has to force them. They know that they're guided by that manifesto, because that is the ultimate document that we are guided by. Let's look at the fourth highlight: construction of a modern hospital. We will construct, in collaboration with St. George's University, a new modern public hospital with teaching facilities as the centerpiece to the development of the education, health, and wellness sector. What we saw from the NDC in coming into office, they have acquired the lands, paid for the lands to construct that new climate smart teaching hospital facility. That's a government, that's a party that we can trust and who is actually accountable to the electorate of this country. Let's move to the fifth highlight: introduction of a national health insurance scheme and fund. Well, we know under the previous administration, they commenced the whole health insurance operation. It has not been implemented as yet. But the NDC administration took up from where they left off and continued with that process, because health insurance is a must. Let's move on to The sixth highlight: construction of 500 plus high quality Grenadian styled family houses or homes. Create and facilitate access to housing that will increase substantially the number of Grenadian families who own and live in their own homes. Special priority will be given to satisfy the housing demand for people in the lowest income bracket and youth. That process has actually commenced, where they have identified lands to start off with in Stony Gut, St. John, right? So, as I told you earlier, NDC has 5 years to fulfill the promises they made to the electorate in their manifesto. But already we have seen big moves to accomplish many of the things they say they will do once they form the government in this country. We already see, we saw, and we are seeing some of the things being accomplished. We move to the last highlight: free education up to term CC. Guarantee free universal education up to community college with a strong focus on science, technology, engineering, and maths, STEM. Folks, only recently we saw the introduction of the free tuition policy for TAM CC and NULO. So we saw earlier from the NDC universal education introduced from pre-primary, primary, and then secondary school, where parents didn't have to find that money to get their children in the classroom because government was absorbing that cost. And then we saw a similar thing at the TAM, CC, and NULO level. So this is a government that you can trust. This is a party that you can trust. And then they move to, let's move Grenada forward, right? And there are some more highlights. Facilitation of reliable and cost-effective travel between Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. We will partner with the ferry operators and airlines to enable efficient, reliable, and cost-effective transportation service between Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. We saw the tax that the folks who were traveling to Carriacou had to pay. That was removed because they would leave Grenada, go to Carriacou, and they had to pay a tax. That was removed. We saw a bigger plane coming to Carriacou and transporting people from Grenada, Carriacou, Carriacou, St. Vincent, Carriacou, Carriacou, Grenada. So you have more people being able to travel with that plane. And that's a plus. Let's move on. Provision of free wireless internet access nationwide. The NDC will work with our internet service providers to establish a network of free wireless access points in every community, government office, tourism sites, and recreational parks. What we have seen is, one, the NDC partnering with Flow with a JUMP program, giving homes without internet access for just $20 and a device and training to use that device. We are seeing in quite a number of spots free internet access, open access to internet service, where the government is absorbing that cost but partnering with service providers. Restructuring and upgrading the Imani program. Well, that is on its way. We will transform the Imani program to better equip young people with stable and reliable employment. We know that the government is moving in that direction to regularize workers, particularly those Imani trainees who are actually working with government and are temporary. Remember, the NDC administration has 5 years to accomplish all of these things. There are some they've accomplished already. Empowering local constituencies and parishes. Well, we know things are being done from that level. Securing social safety nets, like the SEED program and other programs. They continue. All the social safety net programs, they continue. The debushing program, the geriatric caregivers program, the poor relief assistance program, and we can go on and on. These programs continue. Then, another highlight, launching a national spice replanting program. We are seeing that happening as we speak. They've actually launched a national spice replanting program where 150 farmers will benefit and hundreds of spice trees will be planted because the government is serious about agriculture. Paying our sportsmen and women. Again, that is ongoing. Pay for play. So you're a sportsman, you should be paid once you're representing your country. Establishing a cannabis industry. And we know that the NDC administration has actually put a committee together for that purpose. They have set up a secretariat for that purpose, and they are well on their way where that is concerned. Remember, they have 5 years to accomplish that. Can't happen overnight. Establishing a cultural and creative economy. Well, that's kind of common sense. That's clear cut. We have 100% concession for creatives given. We have 100 creatives getting scholarships to go to TAMCC to study their art, their craft, right? We have a secretariat set up for creative affairs, and we can go on and on. They had a symposium, they had this, they had that. It is big. But I only list these highlights to you to say that the NDC is fulfilling their promises to the electorate. The NDC, during their campaign, tell the electorate these are the things that they will do, and they are fulfilling that. That is what we want in governance. You campaign, you say these are the things you will do, and you live up to it. And that is exactly what we are seeing. Everything takes time. We don't expect all that is contained in the manifesto to be accomplished in the first 2 years of being in power. No, that's unrealistic. They have 5 years to prove themselves, to fulfill what's in their manifesto. So I want to give you the highlights. Then they break it down and they speak about education, they speak about healthcare, they speak about agriculture, they speak about the creative sector. But the highlights is really the summary, telling you these are the main focus areas. And if you start ticking, you realize that the NDC has actually accomplished more than half of what they said they were going to do during the campaign. Already within 17 months? A year and 5 or so months? That is what we want as a people. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Because there are people who vote for you based on what you say you're going to do in your manifesto. We couldn't say that about the NNP because the NNP will tell you one during the campaign, put stuff in their manifesto, and they will not fulfill it. They will not, and they don't care. So we have ushered in a new type of governance where you can actually go back and tick. Yes, they accomplished this. Yes, they accomplished that. And based on that, you can determine whether they will get your vote again or not. Yes, there are other factors, but that's the single most important thing working from that manifesto that they actually published, I think is important. Very important indeed. I want to tell you on a different subject matter. Do not be caught up with the Plead Your Cause program on WeFM. If you follow that program keenly, you will realize it is the same callers calling that program every single morning. They're haters of progress. Many of them, they're NNP pundits and surrogates. Many of them, they are obstructionists, and they're vexed, they're upset that they're not getting their way and the Grenadian people are not following them. Look, the NNP had a meeting in uh, Mount Rich, and it was poorly attended. It bust. You ever hear about a meeting bussing? It bust. They had a meeting planned for St. John. They had to postpone it. People are not gravitating towards the NNP, but it's the same cadre of callers. So you had this morning, for example, Panames, Devon Romain. You know, he's on a program up north pushing a certain agenda for those obstructionists, in my belief, those who lost power, in my belief. Then you had Clifford Bridgman, you know, he's a staunch NNP supporter. But not only that, in his old age, he got a blight from government. And when NDC came into power, he started crying foul that he's no longer there. And this is the reason why he was removed or no longer there. But it's an old guy who believes that he should be there for, indefinitely. But we know. So he called. Then this usual individual chatters on the streets, Bowen or whatever his name be. Usual cry baby. Then you had usual culture man, who will call and defend his party and government, right? Usual voice. Then, nowadays you have about two guys who seem to be pushing the Palestinian thing, right? One, and there's another guy who is a pro-Israel advocate, so he would call and counter what they say. So it's the usual people calling every morning. Then you had Mandu, right? Who that big guy who used to be all about the place with Oliver Joseph. He called in. So that's about it. The same cadre of callers. And it's the same thing that would happen tomorrow, right? Anne-Marie Eban would join in and call tomorrow. Same cadre. So it's the same set of people calling and cry every morning. And then you had this guy from St. Mark who always call in and cry, actually cry. He would invoke OJ, he would invoke Pat Fletcher and that kind of thing, right? He will complain, grind and groan. He was the guy, Lazarus, selling some kind of stupidness or whatever. But he comes across as a guy who's not stable mentally. Comes across as troubled. And I feel it for him. About he used to be NDC and he's a NDC and he was there long and so nonsense. And make it even worse in St. Mark constituency, right? And they're on the up. Queen's Britain and the team, they're on the up. This guy is past tense, talking rubbish and crying like a little baby. So the same people. You start off in a kind of soft, cry voice, poi voice, as though you're not even hearing his words clearly. That's how he starts off. And then he goes to a high tone, like somebody exploring, right? Or exploding. That's what it is, right? But I'm simply saying to you, the same cadre of callers. And if you listen to the program up north on a Sunday with Master Carl, as he calls himself, Carl Keaton, and I could give you a history about him with the Police Welfare Association and when he was there and what transpired there. I could give you a history, but I would not go there. And then you have Devon Romaine, and I could give you a history of him too, where he was renting only recently and what transpired. I could give you a history of them. I know, I have all the information before me. So the same cadre of callers will call that program too. Kami will call how much times, and then this one from Fenton Village will call, and the other one, and the same kind of, the chatters on the streets, same cadre of callers over and over. Cheryl Williams go call, and Clifford Bridgman go call how much time. Same small group of people over and over and over. And then you listen to the Sheldon Scott, the Tomcat, his program, the same callers, same set of stooges, the same set of callers on that program too. And then you go and you listen to the GBN to the point when they have the line open and so on, and even if they have guests, same callers calling, same set of callers over and over and over again. Nothing new. So do not believe that they represent the broader cross-section of Grenada. Because when the NNP has a meeting, they cannot even get 100 people to come. They cannot even mobilize a good amount of people to come and listen to them. A village meeting or anything of that sort. They can't even get 20 or 30 people. They can't. When they have their fundraiser, boss, a whole pile of retired folks who would come and, they're not able to attract any new, person or people. NNPs are dying breed. They're almost extinct. And that is what we are seeing. So do not be caught up and do not be moved by this small group calling and cry every day. They don't represent the majority of people in the country. The unemployment rate fell from 28% to 11.9%. People are getting work. The social safety net programs, all of that is intact. People are benefiting, right? Things are happening in the country. The price of petroleum dropped significantly. The price of a gallon of gas dropped by $1 and some cents. So people are happy. The roads are being fixed. I mean, it will take some time to fix all, but it's been fixed. The healthcare system is being attended to, and education, and we can go on and on. We're getting loans. We're getting concessionary loans. In fact, Grenada got $100 million loan from the Saudi Development Fund at 1.5% interest rate. Dominica got about 40-something million, I think, at 2-point-something% interest rate. And then there's another island in the Caribbean who got loan from the Saudi Development Fund at about 2.7% interest rate. I can't remember the island. But Grenada has fared the best with 1.5% interest rate and a grace period to start paying of 8 years. And you have 25 years to finish pay. So you're looking at 30-something years, at 1.5%. So things are happening across the country. Look at the government. They are replanting our spices. Hundreds of spice trees. We can go, cinnamon, clove, pimento. We can go on and on. Right? They're replanting that. Nutmeg, cocoa. We can. Right? They're doing stuff. People who are on crown lands, government lands. They're planning their deed now. So they could own something. Once they on that land for more than 10 years. So things are happening for people. But you have a small group of NNP supporters who will cry even if you ain't beat them. They would get, by the time they see you coming, they start crying. That's how the NNP is operating. They're scared like hell because the population is purely youthful. 60-something% of our people are under the age of 40. So they're dealing with a different demographic they're dealing with a more knowledgeable population. So all the lies and misinformation and propaganda and so on, it's not working. And all you need to do, look at some of these programs that push a kind of anti-government narrative or who would attack the government or the prime minister or so. Look at the programs. The numbers are very poor. And there are some programs, they're just bitter when it comes to this administration. Just look at the numbers, right? Look at the numbers. And there are some of them who play that they're balanced and they're independent. Look at the Bob report. This guy has been in the media business for a long time, but he just can't find his way within this landscape. People not interested in listening to his rubbish. No matter who he has on, former prime ministers, this and that, he's just not getting the numbers. People not viewing, and he's very petty. Yeah? The guy is petty. You know, it's like a individual who cries for everything. He comes across that way, soft, tender, little piece of thing. It comes across that way. You're like you're in a classroom, and you have some people in the classroom who are a bit softy, or girly, even if they're a male, but they're girly in their behavior. They cry like a little egg. They bawl and scream like a little girl who, ain't get something, jealous, envious, that kind of thing. That is how it comes across as a little baby. It's sad, but his numbers not going up. Then you look at the tomcat, Sheldon Scott. You know about cell phone gate, huh? His numbers it's not improving. It's just what it is. You look at Jenny Simon, she's just fighting up. Her numbers not improving, just stuck right there. And people go for curiosity. They're not even interested. Then you have the buzz with the mosquito man. Well, I mean, he's fighting to get 50 or 60 people to view him, which is sad. Then you have the classroom with this James, and I could give you a history about him when he was in the police and what transpired there. I could go into that, but I'm not going to go there. But it's just sad. Their numbers are little, small, insignificant. They're fighting up. Their listenership is poor. So all these people, they advocate, they push certain agenda, but don't even talk about Mikey. Mikey fighting up for 100 or 200 people live to look at him. The guy was big before, but I don't know what happened. Grenadians start to learn sense. They're studying that boy again. And we can go on and on. So I am saying to you, and look at who is dominating the airways. Junior George, right along. Kem Jones, right? That's who dominating the thing, Yeah. The numbers of right along is huge. And that is why some of them attacking him. Yeah. Because he's dominating the whole landscape in the diaspora and here in Grenada. And then you have your humble servant with the two programs, the morning program and the nightly program. And we are running the program concurrently on radio and social media. So YouTube, Facebook, Wild 106.3 FM in New York, Vibes 101.3 FM and 106.3 FM. So I am simply saying, do not be moved by, just a little group of people calling every morning on a program and talking rubbish many a times. They bitter, they sour, they were defeated, and they're not going anywhere with that. It's the same strategy was used in the lead up to the last general election. You had Genevieve Gibbs, this girl who, I think she works in GDB. Well, you're hearing her again. She used to call nearly every morning, pushing her agenda. She get quiet. She boil on like Baji. And then you had Devon Britt, my good partner, right? Right now, anytime he calls, it's because he calling about some kind of business, right? Some kind of, you could work from home and you could make money and you could this and that, The guy get quiet. And we can go on and on and on. They tried that during that time and they failed, miserably so. So do not be moved. Do not be perturbed at all. I'm saying to you, if you're politically savvy enough, you would realize that the NNP is a dying breed. It's a dying breed. But let me just do a little ad for the women's arm of the NDC and the Georgia. Well, let me start off with the Georgia NDC chapter.
We are Grenadians, who are you? Like a spice, when everything dies, Grenadians, may God bless you.
Come join the fun. Grenada Spring Independence 50th Anniversary Celebration, December 9th, 2023, is going to be held at the Granans Social Club. Now that's in Litonia, 6420 Old Hillendale Road in Litonia, right on the side of the I-20. Don't miss it. Admission is free. We have 3 DJs ready to play for you. Come meet, eat, drink, mingle, mix, exchange business card, and party with us. For information, you can call 404-839-8468. Again, 404-839-8468. And walk with your dancing shoe, because the DJs are ready to play for you. Come celebrate with us, Grenada's independence.
We are Grenadians, and who are you? Like a spice.
Right. So that's the NDC Georgia chapter. Please support. And then you have the NDC Women's Arm. They have a dinner coming up.
The women's arm of the NDC invites you to its Christmas dinner themed and evening of elegance at the Spice Basket on Friday, December 15th. Tickets are 100 per person or 180 per couple. Come and enjoy a fine dining experience, then dance the night away. For tickets, call 449-5872 or 429-5177. It's an evening of elegance, hosted by the women's arm of the NDC at the Spice Basket on Friday, 15th December. Call now for your tickets, and we look forward to seeing you there.
Right, so that's the women's arm of the NDC here. And then you have my good friend Osbert Charles and the team. They're having a luncheon, a barbecue luncheon by the Ladi Community Center on the 2nd of December. The Ladi Community Center. All right, it's starting at 12 noon. Go there and support them. If you want more information, call 456-4087, 456-4087. Please go there and support them. All right. I know Pamela, they have some stuff coming up to Pamela Adolphus. I know they have a breakfast at Snook Corner. Well, that gone, I think, Sunday. But they have the extravaganza coming up very, very soon, the 17th of December. All right, at the Spice Basket. You know, it's an annual thing. The Bolio Village Council, they would have the police band, they would have church choirs and so on. They're singing for the children, giving them some toys and other things. Really, really good. Pamela and the team, Pamela Adolphus and the team there. All right. So please support them. There are some other events and activities. I'll tell you about that. But let me tell you about the New York trip. All right. Remember, I'll be in New York very soon.
Attention, Grenadians in the diaspora. Get ready for an electrifying evening with the one and only Kem Jones, the dynamic talk show host and political activist. On Saturday, December 2nd, Kem Jones will be in Brooklyn, taking the stage at the prestigious Nutmeg House on 1215 Flatbush Avenue. Brace yourself for an evening filled with straight talk, thought-provoking discussions, and a dash of Grenadian spice. Kem Jones is known for his no-nonsense approach and his unwavering dedication to the Grenadian community. This is your chance to his powerful voice firsthand. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to engage with a true Grenadian talk show icon. Tickets are available now for a donation of $40. Secure your spot today and be part of an unforgettable evening that will leave you inspired.
Right. So, folks, again, the 2nd of December, and you can check my Facebook page. It's there. The link is there. You can follow the link and purchase the ticket. It's easy. Just check my Facebook page and you click that link, Kem Jones, and you just go straight there and you purchase the ticket. The link is on my page. It's at the Nutmeg House, 1215 Flatbush Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. All right. So today is the 20th. So you're looking at 10 plus 2, 12. 12 days from today. 12 days from today. So not this Saturday, but next week Saturday. That's when it will be. Don't forget that. Remember also my event on February the 9th. February the 9th at Radisson Hotel Crown Ballroom. Starts at 7, finishes at 12 midnight. Plenty entertainment, plenty vibes, food. Look, the tickets were $300, not sold out. So we do not have any more tickets for $300. We do not have more tickets for $300. We have 32 tickets, no, not 38, 38 tickets left for $350. So we have 38 tickets left for $350. That's all we have, 38 tickets. So if you have not yet gotten your tickets or tickets, you can reach out to me via WhatsApp or call me and you can get your tickets. But for now, all we have is 38 tickets left for $350. After that, no more tickets. After that, it's done, it's finished. Okay? So those who holler at me and say, well, keep 2 tickets, a whole lot amount of tickets for them, I have it for you. You have to pay for that before, at least by the end of this month, the end of November. All right? So you have to pay for it in 10 days' time. In 10 days' time, all the buds and all the tickets that you told me to hold for you and so on, it's 10 days' time. Those in New York who told me, well, when you come up, you're going to get it or you're going to carry it up for me or you have a prior arrangement with me, then no problem. But when it comes to paying for the tickets, that must be done by the end of this month. All right? So we're out of early buds. We're out of the $300 tickets. We're out of that. So we are now into the $350 tickets and only 50. We are at 38. So by, let's say, month end, we should see the end of all of that, all the tickets and so on, or maybe by the 15th of December or by the end of December. Maybe the next 30-something will go. Because more and more people are calling, more and more people are messaging, more and more people want tickets. And after that, there is no more tickets because the place can only hold 500 people. After that, no more tickets. So you will not get any tickets after that. It's finished, right? So even if you call me and say, well, it's done, no more tickets. And we will not be entertaining anybody else or bringing in anybody. 500 is 500. All right? That's all. 500 is what the place could hold. I didn't have to cater in terms of drinks. All right? In terms of drinks. That's important. So just giving you a little heads up. It's so important. Nice. So I have to cater, you have to cater the finger foods, sides and drinks for that amount of people. And it has to come from the hotel. So I need to know how many people buying the tickets and how many people will be coming. Right? Remember, during the daytime, you come at my place. So the first stop is at my place. Come here, you eat oil dung, you drink up, you have a bar, we go, some tents will be pitched out there, some cocktail tables. We have a nice time at my place here first. That's during the daytime from 10 a.m. until 5. After that, you get ready. So you have 5 to 6, 6 to 7. So you have 2 hours also to get ready to come to the cocktail reception, the ultimate cocktail reception and entertainment at the Radisson Crown Ballroom. So it's a full day vibes. All right? So you'd have a stock bar here where you can buy drinks, where you can chill, socialize, network, you know. And remember, when you come to Grenada, I expect you to register if you have not yet registered to vote. I expect that, and I will help you. A lot of people have been reaching out to me already, but I want to help you. And even if you're not coming to my event or activity and you're coming to Grenada for the independence, I want to help you. And I want you to be a part of this whole movement. I want you to be in that database so we can communicate, we can keep in touch, we can follow up, we can keep it going. So when election time comes around, you can come back and vote. All right? Participate in the democracy of our country. You have a legitimate right to do so. All right? So again, that's important. So I want to remind you about that.
And how you?
Hello.
Yes, morning, Ken.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. I feel let me give you a little call back and tell you about the jerseys came and they distribute. So thanks very much for what you have done too.
All right.
Yes.
Great.
Okay then.
Nice.
Right.
Right. So again, I'm saying it's important that you understand when you come here, this independence, we expect about 4,000 to 5,000 people coming back home. I want us to at least register about 3,000 or 4,000 people. So you have to work, and not just me, but everybody within the different constituencies, your family members coming, your friends coming, you have to work on them to get them registered. Remember, all they need is a Grenadian birth certificate or a Grenadian passport. And if their mother or father is Grenadian, they're entitled to a passport, right? They're entitled to. And if they're having difficulty in getting that, I can assist in getting them that. It's $250. You pay for that. I get them to a GP or somebody who can actually sign the forms and do them kind of stuff, certify and so on. Take it from there. And you need your mother's birth certificate or your father's birth certificate, and you need your birth certificate. All right. So if your father is Grenadian, you need his birth certificate, and you need your birth certificate, even if you're not Grenadian in terms of by birth, but you're Grenadian because your father is Grenadian. You're entitled to a Grenadian passport. Once you get that passport, then you can register to vote. All right? That's important that you understand that. If your mother is a Grenadian, same thing. You need her birth certificate, her original birth certificate, authentic birth certificate with the stamp on it, and then you need your birth certificate. And then I can assist you in making sure that you get registered, getting your passport and getting registered. That is the process. Okay? So it's not hard. So we need to work together from all ends to make sure that we get at least 4,000 people registered between now and independence. It's a hard task, but we can accomplish it together. All right? We need to do that. And the next big event, again, we need to focus on that when the folks come back. So after the independence, that's a big event. So we need to get a lot of people registered there. And then the next one, maybe Carnival as the next big one. And then you have Christmas. And then the next year, we're doing the same thing. So we're continuing on that path until the election to get the amount of people that we desire to register and to participate come the election. We have to go at it aggressively. All right? Because they will be here in Grenada. And they were listening to the program. Many of them reached out to me. But you have to also work with me. Right? Help me. The folks, your family members, your friends come in. They're pro-government. They love the government. They love the NDC. They want the NDC to remain in power. You have to kind of work with them to make sure that they're registered. Right? And fill me in on what's going down. That's so important. So we get the numbers and we know where we stand as we move along. All right? It will happen. It's a must. So I want to wish you all the best, folks. Have a wonderful day. Take good care. Bye for now. Bye for now. Bye for now.